What's up, y'all? It's just Rhonda. Welcome to my channel. Let's get this out of here. We're not ready for these people yet. We're not ready. We're going to get to the reunion and the housewives. We're going to get to those things soon enough. How's everybody doing? We're here. It's Tuesday night. It's 8 o'clock. What goes down on Tuesdays at 8 is the reality show recap. I have decided I'm going to clump all these things together. Not all of them. We'll have some things that we do outside of reality recap. But, we're going to come together on Tuesday evenings and discuss the shows, Bravo own and things of that nature. Shout out to Martell Hope. Yeah, y'all like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Where are we going to begin this evening? We're going to begin with the bills. Let's just get straight to the thing. We don't have all night to be sitting around here hibbling and bibbling around. We've got to the business. Let's get to the other business. The Bell Collective. Did y'all enjoy the show? I did, actually. I don't, at first I wasn't sure, how I was feeling. But some things were revealed, Miss Carrie. I've been a Carrie fan, but I don't know how I was feeling about Carrie this particular episode. I think her mother-in-law is spicy, but I think Carrie was downright disrespectful. So, we're going to get into that. We're going to start here, though, with Leticia and Latrice. This is the two head bells, and so we have to create these situations where these two are actually, engaging with one another because, without the two of them, there will be no collective. At least that's the way they try to sell it to us. Anyway, they met up at, what do you call this? Sound bowl, some type of yoga. Latrice has decided that she needs to do better about herself, take care of her body. And I feel like she does need to do that. She's got a lot of things going on as far as her health is concerned. I feel like a lot of people feel like because you're slim, that somehow equates to healthy, and it does not. Like, she doesn't exercise. Exercise is very important for circulation and things of that nature, getting your mind right. There's lots of reasons to get some exercise. Nobody say this lady got to be out in the gym, you know what I'm saying? Or at yoga class or all of that every other day, but she does need to find a way to take care of herself. So I don't know. Sound bowl sounds like a way to at least get your mind ready. You know what I mean? She got a lot of stuff going on. So does Leticia. Leticia was telling her, get after the sound bowls are over. Now they just sitting here talking. They want to get back to, the way their friendship used to be. I think that's impossible. I think that's not likely to happen based on all the things that they have said to and about one another. But, for the sake of the show, we're going to go ahead and at least get along. And for as far as I'm concerned, it's way better than not getting along. Everybody can't be fighting with each other all at the same time. And we, get tired of these same old fights. So Leticia tells Latrice, how, she was blindsided over there at that dating event, finding out about these divorce rumors as it relates to her husband. And she said this is the first time in her life, that she has had money like this, and she just wanted to get an understanding of what that's like, getting her finances together. She needs to learn a lot because the man left her over here with $4 the last time they broke up. Glenn, I'm gonna give Glenn just a teensy little bit, but not too much, because Glenn, the reason why you're in this position is because of the way you have behaved over the years. If I, broke up with my husband, or we took a break, or whatever the hell they were doing over there, and I have nothing in my account but $4, that means this man doesn't love me, or doesn't, care to take care of me or my son. He has to be in complete control. So, Glenn, this situation that you have found yourself in, you put yourself in. That's how I feel about it. Um, she said he'd been out of town, since this whole thing came out. So she hasn't had a chance to talk to him about it. She did leave there and call him on FaceTime, because I was like, why is she FaceTiming him? But apparently Glenn is out of town on business. I don't know what kind of business, but that's what the lady says. So we're going to leave it at that. Um, yeah, she said, now that she's got her coin, she just wants to know. I honestly think it's very smart. I think it's smart for people, especially when you come into more money than you're used to having. In her case, it's, first time, because they've been together. I'm chasing the cord to my charger. Um, Excuse me. I hate to be all, there we go. Um, she has come into more money than she has ever been, in her life. According to her, this is what she said. It's different when you have a 9 to 5, which she does have, but this is on another level, and she's trying to set herself up for more success, and she can. They have, placed her at the head of the table. She's the head belle. She's the lead belle, and I would say Latrice is a number 2 belle, because Latrice didn't bring all these ladies together. That's the mountain that the bells stand on. But I think it's smart to get a financial advisor. Like, even if you're somebody that hit the lottery, or you come into a large amount of money, you don't know how to invest it, and what to do with it. Smart thing for her to do. Her husband is controlling though. Hey, Shayna. She just stopping by. Y'all check out my girl Shayna. She also reviews the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Do you review the bells? I don't know. We all be over here on the same street. So check out my girl Shayna _MCD. Yeah, I think it's smart, like I said, for anybody to, be getting a financial advisor when you come into money, because you don't want to just spend it. You know what I'm saying? She's, however, concerned that if she gets her money up, that Glenn will try to get his hands on it, and he will. He absolutely will. The man said he petty, and and controlling. We see that from week to week. So I'm not mad at it. They're sharing, they're opening up with each other. So Latrice shared, that she has put off her surgery, which doesn't make sense. She said she put the surgery off because she's so concerned with how things are going to be run over there at Taste. And I'm like, Latrice, I don't know what surgery she's having. You know what I'm saying? I do know. And then Cliff made light of it, like saying you don't do anything but sit in front of a computer, in comparison to what he does. He doesn't probably do so much of the physical work anymore, but removing trees and all of that, that is physical work. So I get what he's saying there. And, he's so misogynistic. It's hard to, speak in the same, line of whatever it is he's saying. But at the end of the day, Latrice, you have management. You need to make arrangements for your management and your husband to run the business while you're out. It's not like you can't do certain things, like come home, take a week of recovery, take 2 weeks if that's what it takes. You know what I'm saying? Slowly integrate yourself back into the daily routine, whatever it is. But as far as I'm concerned, with Goddess Links and with Taste, you need to delegate those responsibilities, you know what I'm saying, to your staff, so that you can handle, your situation, your health. Your health is important. And as far as I'm concerned, until she get her health together, there's no reason for her to even be mentioning no baby. That makes no sense. Having a baby is the closest to death you'll ever get. And if you've already got health issues, then, make sure that's taken care of. And you can't keep putting it off and putting it off. You're going to make the situation worse, which makes me wonder, like, what's really going on with Latrice? Does she really want a baby? Because this seems like a lame ass excuse. Cliff has a whole business and acres and acres and acres of land. I just don't think he's like that stupid that he doesn't know how to, handle the day-to-day, business that's at Taste. Like I said, you have management and staff over there to keep him in the loop. So Latrice, quit playing. It don't even make sense. Um, Leticia's like, maybe you can talk to Glenn and I can talk to Cliff, and maybe, we can get them to understand where we're coming from. Dumb idea. And just dumb idea. Y'all ain't even cool like that, Y'all just barely, sat down to talk to each other. And a lot has transpired over the years with, this friend couple group. Anyway, that's how they ended that. They decided they was gonna get together and swap husbands. Um, Matt meets his mom at their property. I think they said it was Greenville, Louisiana. Um, Somewhere in the country, but these people got 400 acres. I feel like that is amazing. It's so cute. Matt sitting out on this property with his sassy mama because she's sassy. Um, Matt, I'm a little tired of you acting like you didn't set Carrie and your mama up. This relationship, that this banter that's going on back and forth between the two of them has always been a thing. I feel like maybe it's a little more turned up because Matt says that his father passed away during COVID. And so that makes sense why she needs, I'm not going to say wants, why she needs to lean on her son a little bit more. And I'm surprised that Carrie is not, I don't know, sensitive to that to some extent. Like, girl, this is his mother. And even if, y'all like go back and forth the way you do, this is something a little different. I feel like 400 acres is a blessing. So I don't know why she's acting like it's such a big deal. She just was getting on my nerves. Carrie, you made me mad. What a blessing for your family to have 400 acres. The way this country is going right now, the fact that he has these acres, you know what I'm saying, that's going to be passed down to your children. You got a lot of damn nerve with that sassy ass attitude, because them bricks and spoons, they ain't gonna last forever. Child, restaurants come and go. So it would make sense for me for you to invest in something else. Um, Mama Marlene said your wife has a big mouth. Matt, check your mama. That's part of the problem. Her and Carrie be snapping like they start at a very low level. You're not gonna sit up here and say my wife has a big mouth. Ma, don't say that. Like, I feel like he needs to correct that in private so she won't do it in front of Carrie, because her and Carrie, they toxic as hell. And and that's unfortunate because they, when you have children and they need to have a relationship, and the relationship between Carrie's mother and Matt's mother is very loving. They like each other. So maybe Matt should have went to Carrie's mama. Shoot. Anyway, Matt's mother needs to lean on him a little bit more to help her with that land. I get it. I understand. You've got 400 acres of land over here, and we're not just going to let it sit here and do nothing. So I feel like that's why she clocking Carrie's schedule, because she's like, yeah, he need to be over here some. Maybe he could pack up them children, though, and bring them too, so they can, learn to appreciate what they're about to inherit. So we don't need Carrie to take no time off. We need Carrie to check her attitude. His mama says she ain't tame. You need to tame her. I don't like it, Mama Marlene. We're not going to say tame her. He's not going to tame his wife. That's his wife. So I don't know where that lady be coming from with her little comments, but that's, probably part of the reason why Carrie is always on ready. But I think some stuff you have to chalk up to, there's a way to handle it without making such riff and strife between the family. So she says she gonna talk to her. She says she gonna she need to something about a horse. She says she the horse, and Carrie need to learn how to ride. Okay, Mama, if you say so. So the wife swap. Leticia pulls up on Cliff. He out there having trees removed in front of Taste. We gonna see Cliff, doing what it is he does. He said, Leticia brings up how Cliff pulled up on her at one time. And I was like, yeah, but the friendship was a different place then. And I feel like that was one of the times when Glenn had been kicked out of the house and, he was speaking on the behalf of his friend. I don't know. It just doesn't feel the same, because the friendship was just in a different place. I don't think y'all are cool like that, like you used to be, but here we are teaching her bad idea. Cliff said, how is she gonna give me advice when her marriage is always in a shambles? And I was like, when you're right, you're right. Because there's always in a shambles. Leticia and Glenn every single season have something going on. Always. They got something going on. As far as their marriage is concerned. Cliff said, he threw it right back on her though. He was like, yes, so I heard there were some rumors going on in your marriage about some divorce or something. And then, Leticia started to explain to him how she went to a financial advisor, and the financial advisor, told her that she should consider a post-nup. Now, Cliff is not about to agree with that. So I don't really feel like he disagreed either. I think he was trying to get an understanding, and Leticia didn't want to talk about her situation. That ain't what she came here for. She came over here to tell him about how he needed to do better by Latrice. And I think he might have threw her off guard when he threw her tea right her face. He said he was pillow talking. And, that's what your wife, him and his wife do. They, be pillow talking over there. It's not the first time that some information was leaked out by Cliff, but at least this time he went straight to the source. So she switched the subject right quick. She started talking about how Latrice is putting off her surgery because she's concerned that there's nobody here to run the business. I'm with Cliff on this one too. I'm with Cliff throughout this conversation. Sounds crazy to say, but it's true. You don't know nothing about the day-to-day operations of their business. So her over here trying to tell him how to manage. Cliff has said she's not even here to know what she's talking about. She isn't. She's not there. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Then she brings up the whole baby situation. And Cliff is like, listen, we need to take care of the health of my wife. Then we can discuss the baby. So, I mean, that's a different conversation, Cliff. He's not acting like he's completely off of it. I still don't think he wants a baby, and I don't blame him because he's old. Too old for that. But, I mean, we know what happens when you have that big of an age gap and, biological clocks and things like that. So, yeah, I'm with him. Like, at the end of the day, we can't have no conversation about no baby until this lady take her ass to the hospital and get whatever surgery. She had blood clots. That's a big deal. Pregnancy and blood clots sounds terrifying. She might want to just go ahead and consider a surrogate anyway, because, all types of things happen when you're pregnant. Your body goes through so much: hair loss, cavities, diabetes. So many things happens, to a woman's health while she's, giving all her nutrients to this child that, blood clots is scary as hell. She's a young woman to be going through that. And they haven't even found the source of it. So I feel like Latrice has a long road ahead of her in terms of her health, especially if she's going to keep canceling the daggone surgery. Like, she won't even do what she needs to do to get the thing right. So I'm with Cliff. Yeah, hopefully that's the last time I'll be saying that. But I am, with him on this one. Latrice has a call with Glenn because she said he's been out of town and she couldn't pull up on him because, he ain't been around. Maybe he's on one of those Marcel vacations where he gets to go away with the, slide. Anyway, they want an apology from each other because he said he wanted an apology for the way she set him up with her friend over around to their house, and she wants an apology from him because he pulled up on her at Selena's birthday party. They said sorry to each other. It's such a waste of time. Anyway, Latrice is trying to get the story from Glenn about the divorce attorney. Glenn said he did not see a divorce attorney. He went to an attorney to find out, about a post-nup that Leticia has brought up. And Latrice is like, you can just go to Google for that. He's like, no, I need somebody to break it down for me. I know that's right, Glenn. We're not going to Google. We want to speak to somebody who can tell me legally what is going to happen. He said with his 401k and his mutual funds and what life insurance, and hopefully he has all those things in place. If he does, I mean, good for him, because a lot of people don't. Um, but yeah, he did the right thing. Leticia brought it up. She went and talked to her financial advisor when she was on her way to discover her financial independency. So yeah, he did the right thing. He goes and finds out like what are his steps. And she said, she asked him if he brought up divorce. He was like, yeah, I wanted to know like what was going to happen with my assets if this thing happened. Um, he said Leticia is in her elevation phase. And he feels like the more she elevates, the more likely it is for her to drop anything that she would consider dead weight. And probably, Glenn, but my advice would be like, stop being dead weight. The dead weight is you, and you keep wanting to be the dead weight. You keep trying to control this lady. Anytime she's doing anything, you want your hands all in it. All the way back when, remember, this was, I don't know, 3 or 4 seasons ago, where she was supposed to be doing a commercial for some bank or something. And here he come. He wanted to be in the daggone video. He has always seemed like he was jealous of her elevation. And then his rebuttal to that is go make a music video or go make a poem, or he always wants to do something to put the spotlight on him. The what do you call it? Renewal, vow renewal, or whatever they be doing today, recertification. They always doing something, to try to solidify their marriage, and it always end up right back here, and we right here with them. And we're like this. Why do y'all do this? Because we know nothing different is going to happen. But anyway, um, I don't know why I wrote this, but I don't know what my intention was. So I'm gonna just leave it where it's at. Carrie and Matt meet up for lunch. And again, she's going back and forth in a way that I was like, Carrie, what the hell? She talks so much. Matt couldn't even get a word in edgewise. Matt was in there trying to like explain, where he was. He went to go see his mama, you know what I'm saying? And, she needs him to pick up a little bit. She's snapping. She's snapping. She is not tamed. His mother is right. Somebody needs to tame Carrie in her big mouth. All she has to do really is just shut up. Right now she's being dead wrong and disrespectful. That's how I see it. She's like, this land is something that's been passed down in his family. So clearly it's something that means a lot to him. So can she at least respect that? She, is 2 hours away. Like she just acting like it's not a big deal for somebody. Are you jealous, Carrie? What is that about? Because if I'm with someone, if I'm married to someone and he's in line to inherit 400 acres that also will now turn into inheritance for my children, I feel like there's a way that, Carrie, you can bring it on down and figure out a compromise. But she doesn't, she don't want to bend, not at all. She won't even shut up. Like I said, she says something to the effect of, we don't have time for this. We got so much going on, and y'all, you want to go over there and like follow somebody's pipe dream. And I was like, no, you're not calling his mother's land, whatever future plan she has for it, a pipe dream. When you over in, where you at, down in the coast with a restaurant that's going down the drain, you following your dream. Nobody is trying to call it a pipe dream. Everybody is being pretty much supportive, even in the times where the business is failing. And trying to figure out what you're going to do, how you going to get yourself out of this situation. Nobody's calling it a pipe dream. So, she was just disrespectful. She said his mother is a regular. She's just a regular woman. I'm a boss. I'm an influencer. I'm a star over here. I'm not regular like your mama. No doctor would come to a street sweeper for advice. I was like, whoa. You did not just call his mother a street sweeper. Matt said Carrie doesn't respect his mother. I mean, based on what she just said, it seems like she doesn't. And she's low-key disrespecting you. I would never say that about somebody's mother to their face, especially like the grandmother to my children. I'm not understanding what Carrie's issue is. She don't even hasn't even given the man a chance to say what is happening over here. You know that this man just lost his father, and it's his responsibility to step up as a parent, I mean as a child, to help his mother. He's got siblings. You know, this is the time when your siblings have to figure out what role they're going to play. And maybe conversations need to be had without Carrie, because she's not a, supportive participant. So Matt needs to, meet up with his siblings and his mama, and they can figure out what they're going to do with their land. And he can come back and tell Carrie what the hell he's going to do. Because, if he give her any chance to say something, child, she going to run her mouth and be disrespectful to everybody in the line of fire. Glenn and Letitia meet at the waterfront. They're reminiscing about, their teenage years and how they fell in love over here, and only to get into fallout over this damn post-nup. Letitia's pleading her case again, and to be honest, both of them are wrong. That's how I feel. Both of them are wrong. You're pleading your case, Letitia. You're not being honest. You want to stack your money up because now you finally got money and you want to cut him out. And Glenn, you were perfectly fine with it. You know what I'm saying? All these years, you were perfectly fine with being in control, but she wasn't clearly contributing anything financially to the marriage. So now that she's contributing financially, Leticia, now you want to switch it up and you expect him not to feel away. Glenn, you be over here spreading it wide and laying it low. So the lady feel like she feel. And she's absolutely right. All he has done is exercise control and misogyny and, disrespect, out here cheating. You over here calling up and hanging out with somebody so close to her, that's the hairdresser. To child, you asked for it. You asked for it, Glenn. And she said, I'm so tired of them in this. She said, ask him, would he sign the post-nup? He said no. He said he is not signing a post-nup. He said he might as well just sign the divorce papers. And what did he say? We can divorce, Tisha. I'm fine. That's what he said. That's sad. That's sad that he could look at her and say that. And Tisha, I think you should listen to what he said. He said, we can sign divorce papers. I'm fine. He said he's fine. You should assume that he is. And maybe you should move forward. One thing we're going to do as women is hold on and hold on and hold on and call ourselves fighting. I'm fighting for my marriage. I'm fighting for my relationship, only for them to leave anyway. Ask Tina over there, Mary. Glenn about to do the same thing, but I think, they throwing they, cards on the table. Somebody got an ace. Somebody got a joker. We don't know who it is, but cards on your, it's on you, Tisha. What you gonna do? Because he done said he's fine with the divorce. And if him signing the post-nup is the ultimatum or a divorce, it's on you, girl. But I think he knows you're not going to do it. I think he knows you're not going to do it. So no, you are right back to square one. Nothing was handled here. You accomplished nothing because this man said he ain't signing it. And so what you going to do, girl? Stay your ass with Glenn like you've been doing under the same circumstances. It is what it is. Matt and his mama and Carrie have lunch. And once again, both of these ladies are doing too much. Carrie walking there being completely disrespectful. Hey, Lotus Egyptian flower. Yeah. At the end of the day, like I said, as far as this land is concerned, all Carrie has to do is sit there and keep her mouth shut, but she cannot. And not only can she not keep her mouth shut, she can't be respectful. It's not even that serious. Like, she walked in there like, hey, what you on today? Because, did you get your drink or whatever? Because last time I seen you, Carrie is definitely exaggerating what happened the last time. They had an encounter. She came all crazy at me and my mama. It wasn't really that. It wasn't really that. I think, Carrie is, I don't want to call her a liar like Marie Monroe says she was, but she's definitely exaggerating. And Yeah, she talking about she now when Matt tried to again tell her the same thing that he was trying to tell her before, now she want to text her mama. I'm gonna text my mama. So she calls her mother to come over there. And Carrie is being disrespectful, so I hope her mother gets her together. At the end of the day, whatever she got going on, she can shut her mouth and let these people say what it is, because it feels like Carrie is giving no respect to her husband. I wish I would have 400 acres somewhere and somebody try to play me. We don't know what we're gonna do with the land, but it seems like you don't want to be part of the conversation. So kick her out of the conversation, child. Next week they still carrying on. His mother asked her mother if he was talking to you the way Carrie talks to me, how would you feel? And her mother said, he'd knock his ass out. He wouldn't be able to speak no more. Exactly. So, and Matt does not speak to her mother that way. Matt does not communicate with her parents that way. He's good thing he's so low key because his wife is that child is not tame. His mother is absolutely right. And yeah, Tamara gonna let Latrice babysit. I guess, girl. Little London. What's her name? London Simone. London Simone. That'd be a fun little thing to babysit to Tyler. It's not like a little baby. London Simone can run around that house and Latrice can feed her all the things that what's her name? Tamara doesn't let her out. That's what aunties do. They're there, aunties and grandmas. They're there to let the kids do whatever they want to do, and then you do the discipline shit when you get home. So that's pretty much it for that. For the Bell Collective, and let's get into the housewives of it all. We're gonna start here. So the reunion seating chart came out, and everybody is talking about the K Michelle sitting first chair. I'm not surprised that K Michelle is sitting first chair. I'm not sure that she has a whole lot to offer. I'm guessing, I don't even know like what is the status of her and Portia's relationship at this point. So Portia, of course, is first chair, who did absolutely nothing but go on a couple few days. We saw nothing of Portia's life for real, for real. K Michelle was offering a lot in the beginning, like with the stuff that she's been through. We sympathize with her and her surgeries, and at the same time, we're wondering why is she still over here trying to get laid up on somebody's surgery table. So yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see. If I were making the seating chart, there's two. Actually, I didn't put the other one. At some point, Cynthia comes out and Angela has to scoot down. Angela really could have been scooted down in the spot where Drew is. I would have put Drew in front of Angela. Yeah, because Angela wasn't doing nothing. She took us to a raggedy ass house in the beginning, and the rest of the season, she just been trying to attack Shamia for no good damn reason. And they got Angela across from Kelly. If you want to know the truth, I think Shamia should have been first chair. And then came Michelle's second chair. Because the way they've been going back and forth, all of them have been coming for Shamia. Shamia been like a whole ninja over here swatting them away. Because they just keep coming for her and coming for her. So, yeah, let me take a closer look. I would have put Shamia, K Michelle. I mean, because she's K Michelle, we're not going to put her at the bottom, even though she probably deserves to be in the spot where she should be third chair, if we're being really honest. But, we're going to give her star power for whatever reason. They really should be Portia, Drew, Angela, and Phaedra. Phaedra's in the right spot. And on the other side, it should be Shamia, Kelly, K Michelle, and Pinky. That's how I would have done it, but nobody asked me. So, but I'm going to tell you anyway. You said looking at some of the old video clips, K Michelle gave nothing. I hope Rashida joins next season. Rashida will not be over here. But it's a whole lot of the Love and Hip Hop people are without a work. So would they bring Rashida over here? Child, they made such a big deal of K Michelle coming over here as if she was gonna do some type of ghetto up the place. Now, Rashida might, because they over there with all kinds of things. Her and Kirk, I don't know. Um, at one point, I said Rashida should come over here. However, I don't think she's a good fit right now. Right now, we can make her. Is she friends with Shamia? Because I think Rashida is actually Candy's friend and not necessarily Shamia's friend. So we don't know where she would actually fit in over here. Um, but anyway, it's Phaedra's birthday, and the ladies take a trip to Scotland. We didn't waste no time in no airports, and we are staying in a castle over here. So um they were at the airport. Pinky said they need to file a friend bankruptcy. And I was like, girl, and you ain't said nothing but a word. Pinky came with the comic relief this episode. You said she's probably dealing with her son issue. So now it's her son is free. So his issue is gone. The judge said he's okay to go. And so yeah. Um That would be a good storyline, though, to be honest. I mean, we're familiar with all of Rashida's family. It's just the Rashida and Kirk of it all. Yuck. Yeah. So, yeah, the ladies are staying in a castle, so there will be no fighting over rooms because there's plenty of rooms and floors. It's a whole castle. They're hosted by some Black Scottish content creator on TikTok called Torgy. I've never heard of him, but I'm going to go check it out. Whew. Frick and Frack were on, what is that show? Frick and Frack were on Traders. So, they brought the ladies to Scotland. That's cool. Like, it's something different than what we always see. Housewives and castles and things. I must give Phaedra credit for that one. So they get to the castle, and while the ladies are eating, Phaedra and Portia are going around looking at the rooms. Obviously, they did not fly to Scotland to see Creasy, whatever they had to offer over there, but they connect with Torgy. He knows how to set the people up. While they're showing everybody around, the ladies are sitting at, table having a little something, something. Pinky said that they have decided to move forward and cast Shamia in her movie. And so everybody's like happy for Shamia except Angela. Angela's already got a bug up her ass. She's just waiting on her moment to like set that bitch free. I'm so disappointed in Angela. She like, why don't we all just make a cameo in the movie? No. Girl, what? Kelly was talking about, dealing with going through a divorce and how Shamia was such a good friend to let her stay, in her condo. I think that's very dope. If you got it like that, that's what you're supposed to do with it. So, yeah, and for the time being, Kelly was having drama with her homeowners association president. They was over there getting restraining orders and things against each other. So now she's able to, get a little peace while she's looking for the next thing. And this ex-husband of hers is out there trying to cause her all kind of grief. Cynthia tells, what's this girl, Kelly? She tells Kelly, like, this is a safe space. We've all been through it. If you ever need to talk to anybody. And Kelly is like, yeah, well, I don't know about all that, because as soon as you get vulnerable in this group, y'all want to like throw the shit back in somebody's face as soon as it's mad day. And that's true. That's true. Angela chimes in talking about, well, that's ironic because Nobody advocates for me. I don't have anyone over here. What are you talking about? I don't even know how Angela thought this was a good time to even interject herself into the conversation. But her real target is Shamia. So I guess she gonna piggyback off of her best friend. She said she don't have anybody to back her up, and she said that Shamia has Kelly and what's her name? K Michelle. Oops, not what's her name. She has Kelly, Pinky, and K Michelle, and following behind her. And they was pretty much like that. What we don't do is follow behind people. We're not lapdogs over here. K Michelle said Shamia can't lead her no damn where except for to the mall, because every time she talks to Shamia's at somebody's store somewhere. That's what happened when you have a lot of coins and you don't know what to do with them. You get to go to the mall as much as you want and other places and spend as much as Gerald's money as she can, because she can. So don't be a hater. Okay, Michelle. Um, yeah, she talking about nobody has her back. This conversation irritated me so much because Angela goes directly for Shamia, and we start talking about Charles Child and what you said about Charles and who Shamia may or may not be sleeping with. And I'm like, we are 50 damn years old sitting up here talking about who slept with who. So Angela brings up somebody that, this man George. So apparently George donated money to Shamia's breast cancer foundation or something, and Angela is trying to twist that into, because the man said, I seen how fine she was and I had to write a check. Yeah, that's probably how that happened, Angela. He probably seen how fine she was and was like, here, take my money, I'm gonna write a check. But I feel like that's one of those things that's said in jest. You know what I mean? This is a married man. So now we've gone from accusing Shamia of sleeping with basketball players, football players, and now we're sleeping with somebody named George. And George is somebody's husband, and he's a big old fat man with a green beard. At first, I thought my eyes were deceiving me, and I was like, oh no, his beard is green. Why do you keep trying to accuse this woman of sleeping with people, just throwing the shit out there for fun? It's weird, and it's making you very unlikable, Angela Oakley. She sat up there and looked at Shamia and say, are you effing George? And if I was Shamia, I would have tossed my drink right at her face. Shut the fuck up. What are you saying? And this is not that Gerald is doing this, but I feel like when those kind of rumors are put out there, it gives men opportunity to like throw that in your face. You know what I'm saying? When things are not going right, that'll be the first thing he goes through. We can sit here all day and say how wonderful Gerald is, that as soon as he gets pissed off, he gonna start accusing her of sleeping with athletes and possibly George with the green beard. I'm questioning George's wife. He must have some money, because the Pinky again with the comic relief over her confessional. She said if Angela wasn't playing, she would have Fangelas in the stores by now. You over here worried about what Shamia doing. We don't have no household, and we don't have no fans yet. Ugh. Now, she said no, it wasn't Cynthia. I think Angela or Shamia, I can't remember. I think maybe it was Shamia. Shamia brought up how they were saying that Angela was saying that she was dividing the group, or part of the reason of the division in the group. And then here comes Cynthia. Cynthia, you on my list too. I don't understand this. She came through talking about Shamia is causing division in the group. She's not the only one that says that. And she said that Shamia has the power to bring the girls together. And I'm like, Cynthia, now you really talking out your ass. Everyone sitting at that table except for Kelly has tried to play Shamia in one way or another. Even Pinky trying to throw her, under the bus with that whole K Michelle situation at the basketball Bailey event. How did she come up with that? How exactly is Shamia supposed to bring the group together when there's a full-on attack on Shamia, led by Angela Oakley? not Angela Edie. Yeah, Angela Oakley. She's the one that's over here like she's foaming at the mouth. It's so weird. Doesn't make sense. Like Shamia hasn't done anything, and I think it's funny that she hasn't done anything besides be corny, maybe a little bit tacky with the way she dresses, but and she does a lot. Like, but she admitted that on Carlos King's on her interview with him, she admitted that she can be a lot. She knows she's a lot. That's my issue with Shamia. I don't particularly care for that. You said, why? What, Cynthia? Are you okay? Cynthia is so far up Portia's ass. Seems like they're all crawling up there. They're all crawling up there. Cynthia, Drew, even Angela. Angela is more mad at Shamia than she is at Portia, who said she better be careful before I mess around and F Charles. That's what Portia said. And Shamia was last season, in the beginning of last season, she was co-signing and being, a good best friend. I'm backing up whatever Portia does until Portia turned on her. Because at the end of the day, Portia doesn't really want her here. Portia doesn't want Shamia to have a peach. But it's too late now. So what has happened is Cynthia, Angela, Drew, possibly even K. Michelle, who came over here, who last season, Drew and Portia were at odds because Portia was accusing Drew of trying to smash Dennis. And here she is over here now, her bestie, her Go Naked Hair bestie. K. Michelle she was coming for Portia. Portia was over here plotting. Portia and Drew were plotting. All of them are plotting. I feel like Angela plotting too, but she's not very good at it. She's not a good plotter. But that's what they all do. These housewives, they all like trying to team up. And it's ridiculous, like how they're having Portia's back. Cynthia, if anybody, to me, should be holding Portia accountable. Cynthia, you are OG, longer than Portia, or y'all came around the same time. I think Cynthia was there first. So yeah, to say that Shamia has the power to bring the group together is Cynthia. What, girl? Are you okay? It don't seem like it. It's making me not. I'm not feeling Cynthia. Cynthia working to get her peach back. I guess she want her peach back, which is stupid because she came over here as a friend of. She hosted the Dallas trip. Cynthia been in every damn episode as a friend of without having to tell all her business, but promote her business. She got the best of it. So holding a peach, girl, if you hold a peach, they're going to have requirements that you don't want. So you should probably just stay where you at. And she got a new 12-year-old man over there. Anyway, he's not 12. That's nasty. But I'm just saying, he ain't 60. Where we at, child? So now they're sitting up in their rooms. Portia must be the peach. Yeah, she is. She's the gatekeeper. And she's over on the Ultimate Girls trip. And Andy loved to give Portia a job. And so, but I feel like, to me, the best housewives are the ones that are the most authentic. You know what I mean? Go out on a limb and call Portia out. What's really going to happen? Nothing. I don't understand. I guess you could be on the outs, but child, when I tell you, coming for Shamia has become everybody's favorite pastime, and it's uncomfortable to watch. And I'm not even a Shamia fan, but dang, y'all doing too much. Y'all gonna make everybody love Shamia by the time, y'all keep attacking her the way they have been. Yeah, so they get up in the rooms, and while they're in the rooms, George's wife texts Shamia. So let me pull up the text messages because this lady Angela was down at the table trying to imply that Shamia was smashing a man with a green beard for some charity checks. Like, as if, like, Shamia, if she don't need money, that's for damn sure. So the Shamia is the blue, and this man George's wife is the gray. And George's wife said, "Hey, girl, call me when you get a chance. This is Ashley. I would love to clear. What did it say? I would love to clear up the lie that was told about us." And Shamia said, yeah, because I didn't know you and I had beef, and you thought I was sleeping with your husband? Sh- Shaking my effing head. And Ashley said, I never thought that. Angela is lying. Now, this is the person that Angela, this is Angela's neighbor. And while Angela is down at this dinner table telling Shamia that she smashed this lady's husband, the lady is texting Shamia. And then Shamia said, then she had the nerve to deny asking you if you had any info on me and said, y'all just want to be on the show. Angela's, this is what Ashley said. Angela's whole motive is to tarnish your name because of something you said about her, which I didn't ask because it wasn't my business. I had no information for her. She lives feet from me. She weird for even telling such a big lie, especially putting George in it. And Shamia said, I wasn't even going to say y'all name because I know you want peace in your neighborhood. Peace with your neighbor, but the lies have to stop. So this is the conversation that was had between George's wife, Ashley, and Shamia. So, I mean, in real time over there while they in Scotland. I don't know who tipped her off, but the conversation was happening like literally as soon as they got in the room. They were still unpacking their things. So, I don't know. She said that Angela's lying, and Angela seemingly looks like she lying to me. Um Shamia said, now, she's getting emotional because she's like, this is not right. Like, you put these rumors out there and they stick. You know what I'm saying? And you can say it's a lie or whatever. We all know that's true. Everybody is so willing to hear the negative stuff, but when they find out it's a lie, nobody wants to try to clear that up. They just want to keep spreading a rumor, because it's salacious. And this is about her marriage. And, Angela, like Pinky said, hell, if you was handling your business, then Charles would be outside, or Charles is already outside, and that's what you chose. Shamia said these rumors are dangerous, and she's right. So Portia said, I'm going to go to Angela and tell her it's done. See what I'm talking about? So Portia has the power to go tell Angela, that's enough. This needs to stop. I guess, girl. While Portia and Phaedra are in the room with Angela, she then calls Ashley, George's wife. And Ashley said, now she got her on speakerphone. So Portia and Phaedra are listening to this lady. And Ashley said, Angela wanted to know if she had any information on Shamia. That's what she said. You just was asking me if I had any information on Shamia. So now Portia and Phaedra heard her say that. So they know that Angela was doing the investigating that Shamia said she was doing. Now you looking for dirt on Shamia. She hurried up and hung that phone up like, yeah, you didn't think she was going to say that? She didn't already text Shamia. So, and Angela knew that she was on the phone with Shamia. That's why she rushed over there to talk to that lady, because now she said something about, the lady Ashley said that Shamia told her that Angela said she was effing George. And Angela said, that's not even what I said. I said, that didn't come from you. I never said you said it. That came from me. I might have implied that. You did. You said the man was over there saying that the lady was so fine, he had to write her a check. And then you asked her flat out, is she effing George? So now here's another married man situation. Portia wanted everybody to look like they was sleeping with a married man just because she was. Ciao. Because I feel like, everybody's acting under Portia's orders, even Cynthia. It's disgusting. So here we are at dinner. Shamia asked K. Michelle, Portia and them, not everybody was there yet, but at the event, Pinky did bring up that there was some tension between K. Michelle and Shamia. So Shamia wanted to clear that. They had a moment to have that conversation. K Michelle was just saying, you make me feel like I'm not a loyal person, or that, I'm going to have to owe my loyalty to you because you're hanging out with me, even though, your other friends don't like me. And I think it was said in a way, but whatever was said, they cleared it up, and thankfully, we could move on from that. Because the last thing Shamia needs is another person, jumping on her for no good damn reason. Um, K Michelle says she left the damn place crying. K Michelle is a lot. I think Shamia might want to let her go because she sure is a lot of work. It's a lot of work to be K Michelle's friend. She expects people to be her and Portia both. They used to be around people that work for them. You know what I'm saying? Not people that are actually friends with them. And Portia, if it's not somebody she's sleeping with, she only deals with minions. Um, Kelly then said, and she's glad they had that conversation without outside interference. And she then took the opportunity to thank Phaedra for stepping up and helping her, because her ex husband is not allowing her to film with the children. So that makes it difficult for her. That's part of her life, her story. And a big part of her story is not allowed to be told because this man is hateful. And this is the same thing Leticia was talking about with Glenn. When it comes to divorce, that's the first thing these men want to do. They want to make sure Kenya had to deal with it. Melanie Cherie had to deal with it. Who else? A lot of these women going through a divorce can no longer film with the kids. That's how the men get back at them. Phaedra says she had to deal with it. So that's why she's helping her through with this. And I mean, she's offering it up. We don't know what Phaedra's lawyer skills is, but if she offered it up, Kelly, take it, because we can't afford another lawyer right now. We got these restaurants closing and things. So Pinky asked Portia about Sway. How are things going with you and Sway? And Portia said it's going good. And somebody asked her if she could see her having a long-term relationship with her. She says she don't know. She always kind of visualized herself in a relationship with a man. And this is her first time like living her life in a way. She's like, I pay my own bills. I don't have to answer to anyone. Phaedra lying. Usually Phaedra is lying. But oh, you talking about with Apollo? I don't remember her not being able to film with her kids. But she did go through a divorce. There was a big deal about Phaedra not wanting to take her kids to the jailhouse, and Apollo was mad about that. So we know it was some nonsense going on between Apollo and Phaedra during their divorce. So Pinky shares that she was in a 3-year relationship with a woman. No shock there. Phaedra said everybody knew Pinky was out here living in the lady pond. And so, it's Atlanta. Everybody gay. Everybody's gay except Drew. Drew's not gay. She's only engaged in, same-sex activity because her husband asked her to. So I guess she's still standing on the Ty was my friend bridge. Her and Ty were just friends. And yeah, a girl, we don't care. All these ladies over here in gay. Cynthia was in the lady pond, but it wasn't her thing. Pinky was over there in a whole relationship. This is the thing. Angela be investigating on everyone. Is that where the whole lady in the basement came from, Angela? You were over here investigating to see, was that the lady that was in the basement? Anyway, everything was fine. They were having a good conversation about how all of them used to be gay at one time or another. And then here come Angela. She wanted to take another shot at Shamia. Shamia, over at the Bailey Ball event, I forget what they called it. Did you approach my daughter? And Shamia's like, I did not approach your daughter, but I did, speak to your daughter. And she said, I told her she was nicer than you. That's inappropriate. You don't know what we're going through. You don't know what's going on in our life. And you do not approach my daughter. First of all, it wasn't even that deep. Second of all, Um, would my kids have an issue with that? Yeah, they probably would have came to me and said that lady had the nerve to say da 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 da. You know, but my kids are grown, just like her daughter. They can handle it. It's fine. I'm sure my daughter have some snappy shit to say back if she thought of it in the moment. At the end of the day, Angela, you again just looking for a reason to come as Shamia. But Shamia got on that ass and she pulled out them text messages from old girl and she let Pinky read them. Pinky read all the text messages at the table in front of everybody. Now everybody looking at Angela like, girl, the lady said that that was a lie and that you made that up. Child. She look a fool. Um, she look a fool. And so, you know, she did a whole lot of whatever that is when she's arguing. When Angela goes back and forth, she starts bringing up dumb shit. Now she's calling Shamia a lapdog, and y'all could retire that whole lapdog conversation. So yeah, the jury has come out and it's been determined that Angela is a liar. She be making up stories. So now I'm looking at her, I'm side eyeing her about that whole conversation about, you know, having this man Marcus come over there and approach her at that event. You know, how diabolical are you, Angela? You know, try to be on some get back because it seems like you'll go above and beyond. I'm not sure if she did that, but you know, if once you lying to me now, you lying about everything. Everything is a damn lie. Are you married to Charles or no, Angela? Some of the ladies were in one of the rooms and Kelly came in there. Who was it? Cynthia and Portia, Drew. That's it. Cynthia, Portia, and Drew and Kelly. Was there anybody else in there? I can't remember. Um, oh, Phaedra. Phaedra was in there too. And so they had just seen on the blogs that her husband, ex-husband, is suing Bravo for $200 million. There's something wrong with this man. So, and I feel like that's not, first of all, he probably doesn't have the money to fight Bravo. So stop it. I don't even know what he's suing them for. Whatever it is, we don't even know him. So it can't be that Bravo did anything to disparage his character because, you know, we don't know this guy. $200 million, it seems like to me something that, you know, niggas do to try to interfere with her job. You know what I'm saying? I think his hope is that he knows he's not getting that kind of money, but he feels like they'll look at Kelly like a liability and want to get rid of her. I hope that's not what happens. I hear a lot of, you know, get rid of Kelly. I disagree. I think Kelly came over here with a full storyline in spite of the fact that, you know, her businesses were closing, not businesses, one of them, you know, and being showing the struggle, I think is a part of the story. You know what I'm saying? It's so much better than making shit up. She'll be all right, especially if she got friends like Shamia in her corner. So, you know, they all had a whole, you know, moment of we all understand each other because we've all been going through divorce at some time or another. And Phaedra said he's just doing that because he just got served papers. So he pulling a Martell Holt over there. Um, like I said, trying to just cause strife in this lady's life. This is why I would never matrimony myself to anyone. I'll be damned if I got to figure out a way out. I'm gonna just leave when I want to leave. Um, Next week, Portia and Shamia get in this fight about these mamas. So, um, honestly, I don't even really know if that has anything to do with the breakdown of their friendship. I think the breakdown of their friendship came because Shamia got a peach. That's what I think. The whole issue with the mamas have been here for years. Now all of a sudden we mad about it. And remember, during the winter months while they were filming, there was a rumor about them like getting in a fight, physical altercation, something that, you know, is just really sad. But these two ain't friends like we thought they was friends in the first place. We know that they didn't become friends until after Cordell, you know, and Portia divorced. So Shamia came over here and, you know, got all up on her platform. So she hates that. That's so weird. But you know, that's Portia. Portia's living in, you know, her own world and we're all just pawns and minions. So yeah, well, my baby is knocking on my door. That means it's time for me to get up out of here, y'all. Like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll be back next Tuesday at 8. We're gonna get into some more reality things. Bye, y'all.